And what happened was when the agent was doing an entry, they made an error. And they did an entry for a Range Rover Sport instead of a Range Rover Vogue.
Now, yesterday we saw news about Khalif Kairo because seems like this guy's woes will still continue. Now, he was charged with tax fraud amounting to 1.283 million. Now, straight up, if I may read this statement which I obtained from a certain blog which is trustworthy, read this and I quote: "Embattled business Khalif Kairo has been charged with tax frauding amounting to 1,283,830 following investigation by Kenya Revenue Authority into the importation of a luxury vehicle." Kairo appeared before the Nyeri Law Court where he faced accusations from the Kenya Revenue Authority regarding the handling of a Land Rover Range Rover Vogue imported earlier this year. Kairo alleges that the vehicle was wrongly declared as a different model and the transaction dated January 10th, 2024 allegedly enabled the businessman to underpay custom duty by 1.283,830. He denied the charges and he was released on a bond of 500,000 Kenyan bob pending for the mention of the case on June 4th, 2025. Now, Khalif Kairo, during an interview with Oga Obina, he came through and addressed all these allegations, and well, this is what he had to come through and say. Enjoy and let us know what you think down in the comment section, and the video is courtesy Oga Obina Show.
I've seen there's a situation here for 1.2 million due tax fraud. What is this about?
So let me expound on that, and it goes back to the witch hunt by the powers that be. So last year, I got summoned by KRA, and the particulars of the way I was summoned were shady, to say the least. I made a video about it. First of all, I was summoned to Nyeri, which is not my taxpayer. I pay my taxes in Nairobi, but I was summoned to Nyeri. And the way that summon came, it did not come. Unajua kuna summon ya serikali inaweza kuja, ujue hapa this is war.
Yeah.
It came, we need your tax records from when. This was immediately after the Gen Z thing. We need your tax record from nini, wapi, nini. So I was like, hey, this guy is up. I was like that. And I made a video. And I was just like, you know what? We are being targeted. And I still believe that it lacked an element of fairness. So anyway, I honored the summons. I went to Nyeri. We had a long chat. So the point of contention was a vehicle we imported 2 years ago, almost in 2023. And they said that now, in Kenya, we use a system called the CRSP, which I'm reliably told, due to its inefficiency and inaccuracy, KRA is actually considering withdrawing for this particular financial year. So there was a mix-up with one vehicle. It was a Range Rover Vogue and a Range Rover Sport. So if you look at a Range Rover Vogue and a Range Rover Sport, they do look very similar, especially to the untrained eye. Now, for people who are conversant with the Japanese market, Range Rover Vogues from Japan don't come with a logo. Zingine hazikujangi na logo. They'll just be sold as Range Rover, Land Rover, Range Rover. Hazinanga logo, so they don't. The vehicle doesn't specify whether it's a Vogue or whether it's a Sport for the Japanese market. And what happened was when the agent was doing an entry, they made an error, and they did an entry for a Range Rover Sport instead of a Range Rover Vogue. Now, the mistake passed the agent, because we were doing a lot of cars. In a month, we deliver 10, 5, 8 import units. Passed the guys at KRA in Mombasa. There's a whole team. Passed another team that does the gate work. Nagari katoka, and it was registered. So them coming last year to, come and hound me over that issue was a bit suspicious, but we agreed. We said, kama meinsisti gari ilikuwa Vogue, and then we did the checks na tukarealize a mistake had happened. We agreed to pay the difference in taxes. It was around 800,000 or around 1 million Kenya shillings. We agreed. So now, due to these issues that we've been having, the finances and everything, because we've not worked from last year November, we've recently resumed work. We were unable to make that payment. So while I was in prison, they sent another summon. Kaniambia niaje, kuna hii pesa you are supposed to pay, you did not pay. The first stop I made the day I left prison was KRA Nyeri. I went to KRA Nyeri and I told them, now I've just left prison, the business is not doing well, but we intend to pay your money. And I asked for a payment plan, which they agreed to. I have the contract over here. Just for your perusal, please go through it.
Can I read it?
Yeah, sure, you can read it.
From KRA, Investigations and Enforcement Department, Debt Payment, Installment Agreement, Taxpayer Name, Anchor Consolidated Limited and Kairo. The PIN is there, postal address is there, Nairobi, tax service CBC, your number is there, email is there. Okay, outstanding taxes comes there is 1.2. Yeah?
Yeah.
1.283830.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we we agree to pay 1.2 in 4 installments, commit to pay 327 on the 20th day of every month, having paid 300 as the first installment on 30th of April.
So you can see that we made the first installment on 30th of April,
Yes.
and we did an agreement,
Yes.
undertaking to pay.
Yes.
Because we contended that, look, we agree a mistake happened, we are not in dispute. Now, this agreement, it's good to note, was done by the team in Nairobi. I went to the team in Nairobi, they sit at Upper Hill, I explained the issue. And KRA have been having a tax amnesty, by the way. Tax disputes are fairly normal in business. Hazikosangi hizi vitu, they're very normal. Tell me why, nimelipa hii kitu, I'm served with a warrant from Nyeri, a warrant of arrest. So I'm told, well, you are supposed to come to criminal court. So I ask, how do you charge me for a criminal matter na tumeandikiana agreement and I've done the first installment and I've undertaken to clear you by 4 months na mlikubali na tukaandikiana. In fact, the agreement says if I don't pay, they will literally freeze my accounts.